I'm here. You're here. It's 4:30 and we've made it to this part of the day. Congratulations. And you've made it to this part of your life. And I'm grateful for that. Oh, and today is Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. Okay. Um wow, we're here. Today, so I'm going to start off right now and tell you, the whole improvisation of life thing that I have one topic that I'm going to jump on with and talk about, but I haven't prepared a reading of any kind. There's no poetry ready here. That'll come from where we're going. When we get there, we'll get there. And I don't even know what book I'm going to pull from, but I'll find something. Whoa! On Saturday, I talked about grief and just the whole process of what a lot of us are going through with a new normal, a new daily doing, because for some of us it's not even a routine yet. It's just a daily doing. I'm getting up, I'm going to do these things. And today, so you know me, I'm usually a bright kind of guy, bright side thinking. I like to go to the happy place. I like to laugh. Today I had one of those days. I had a blah, 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 blah day. It didn't really have any words for the day. And with talking to some friends, and I actually could put the words to it. And what I had in words is a happy depression. Because you think of depression, many things come to mind. There's a lot of times it's down energy, it's being down, you want to sleep, you don't really want to do anything. Well, I had a happy depression. I got out and went for my walk with the dog, which I do. I felt great. I felt energized, powerful. I got on my bike and went for a ride, but I couldn't do the things that I needed to do. I didn't want to do the things that I needed to do. I felt tied. I felt bound. And yet I wasn't down. I wasn't judging myself for it. I was judging myself for not judging myself. And then that gets to a whole nother thing. But I was bound. I was stuck. Couldn't move forward. And part of it was that if I moved forward, what would happen? And if I didn't move forward, what would happen? And if I went sideways, what would happen? And all the what would happens were not negatives, not down. I didn't know. It was an unknowing. It was a, I'm okay here moment. If you ever sat down, it's like somebody goes, hey, let's go somewhere. And you're like, nah, I'm okay right here. And you are. You know that you can probably have a great experience if you go wherever they're going or if you do that thing. But right here is okay too. And that's where I'm at. I was at a I'm okay here moment. And I reached out to someone and we got to the point where I could actually say, this is that happy depression. I feel great. I feel fantastic. Just don't want to do anything. Didn't want to do anything. And this wasn't even a worry. I wasn't worried about what I was going to do here because this just flows. I just open up and let it happen. It was all the other things. Look at that pile of stuff that had to get done. The small and I didn't mind if the pile got bigger. I just didn't know what to do with the pile right then and there. What do I do with that? And so the happy depression. What what did I do? Well, I first of all I set some goals. Okay, I want to get this done, and I came over, I sat down, I didn't get it done because I still couldn't get past it. And so setting the goal wasn't enough. Yeah, I had a goal because now I'm setting myself up for the depression. Man, you didn't get the goal done. The judgment of self for not doing the goal that I set out to, which was the motivator to get me out of the sludge. And now I'm in a different sludge, judging myself from that other space. And I was like, I'm not going there. Uh, that's not getting done. Okay, it's not getting done right now. It will get done. So I reached out, and in reaching out, and talking out and sharing what was going on. Not that I was using my friends as counselors, but just sharing and hearing their stories and hearing where they're at was so helpful to me to handle the happy depression. And at no point, so there was even a point where I was as joyful and tearful and joyful. I was like, you want to cry, not a sad cry, a happy cry. One of the conversations I had was asked me about my mother and how I'm dealing with grief and what I was dealing with my grief in that. She's been past almost 2 years now. So June 30th will be 2 years. And so I went through and I analyzed the different stages of grief, the 5 stages of grief, including the 6th. If you look up the book, there's a 6th stage. And one of the things I realized is right off the bat, I didn't go through the stages. I didn't follow the stages properly. I didn't follow the steps. Well, I didn't follow the stages as they're there. I went right to acceptance. I accepted it. This is what happened. Mom's not here. I'm okay. I miss her and I love her. And then I judged myself for not going through all those other things and dealing with the denial and the this and the that and so my grief process is different than is unique, different than many other grief processes. And the same thing right now. And I'm not going to call it a clinical depression because I'm not clinically certified to name it a thing. I'm going to let you know where I'm at and I'm going to describe it for you because some of you may find that you're there too at different times. Some of you may find that you're there right now, especially with all the uncertainty. This is, Cinco de Mayo. This is a time when people go out to go to places that they wouldn't normally go just because it is Cinco de Mayo. And we're not doing that. We're not. And how are we celebrating it? How are we celebrating today? How are we celebrating the life? And everything, celebration is not always the ticker tape parade. Sometimes it's just like, thank you. Thank you. And my happy depression would be the equivalent of, I'm here. I'm stuck in this chair. And that's all right. Eventually, I'll figure out how to get out of the chair. Eventually, I'll do something different. Maybe want to eat, maybe not. I'm going to go. So why am I sharing this? Why am I giving you, just putting this out there? The vulnerability of what are the parameters of our relationship? Because I don't believe that this experience is unique. I don't believe that I'm the only one. And sometimes just that connection of knowing that there's another one out there. There's another one. I don't want you to have the misery, but I know that we can communicate and we can talk on a level of understanding because you've been in the mud too. And it's funny because the more I talk about it, the heavier it gets. And it really isn't that heavy. But it is a thing. I can't hold on to it, can't throw it away, can't pick it up. But it's a thing, and it is a strong feeling or a stew of feelings. It's an intensity. What do? I reached out. I reached out to my auntie. I reached out to a cousin. Keisha, you're online for a dog walk, okay? So when you see and the caller ID says it's coming from me, I'm walking the dog, and you say, "Hey, you walking the dog?" Then I know where we're coming from. We'll talk. But I reached out to a cousin who I don't normally reach out to, and I was like, you know what? That's what my dog walking is all about right now. Is reaching out to people who I've let slide, who are on the list on my contacts, but haven't called in some of them years. And I was like, I reached out because my cousin said, what's wrong? I said, nothing's wrong. I'm just reaching out. And I'm going to reach out to you once a week from now on. And she was like, okay, we'll talk next week. Boom, we're moving on. And now don't get jealous because I haven't called you yet. If you're in my phone book, I'm calling you. Okay? Just so you know. That was one of the things. And just talking out with just being there with other people when they're talking about their stuff, it was calming. It was nice. It was energizing. And did I need to share all of my stuff? No, I shared what was going on, some of it, and I shared, and in sharing, there was ears that were listening, there was caring, and there was compassion. That's what was needed for me today. That's what I needed today. That's to get me out of my happy depression. Still happy, but processing differently. There's a dog shaking over there. And I hope that just my sharing of that is helpful for you today. And you know where to find me, right? Reach out. We can chat. We can find our moments. And if you find yourself in that happy depression, identify it. Sometimes the biggest problem we have is when we can't identify what is actually happening. And the unknown, the unknowing, is often the bigger problem than the rut. All right, I am going to seek out a poem to read, since that's the thing. I read a poem. Goodness gracious. Told you I didn't prepare for this. And sometimes, all right, first page to turn to, from Sacred and Sacrosanct. Rodolini, cut it out. Don't even go there. Don't even go there, brother. All right. All right. So Chris Rodolini on Facebook says, I think too much. I've heard that before, but there is a place in the world for thinkers, right? And they call us thought leaders, just so you know, thought leaders. Outside is the poem today. Floating on the stream of consciousness, I discover reflected in my eyes, me, the me who I long to be, smothering the me that I despise, taking satisfaction in the action of not waiting idly, aware, without care, of the me you perceive of me. How about that, Mr. Rodolini? Is that deep or what? That's a lot of thinking there. I'll read that one more time. Outside. Floating on the stream of consciousness, I discover reflected in my eyes, me, the me who I long to be, smothering the me that I despise, taking satisfaction in the action of not waiting idly, aware, without care, of the me you perceive of me. Divine intervention. Thank you, Mr. Rodolini. This is so, and in response to Mr. Rodolini's things, if I had a church, he would come because my voice is mesmerizing. Thank you for that comment. This is not about a church. This is more than that, because we're all connected spiritually. And this is not a preach. I'm just letting you know, we're all connected spiritually. And right now, in this time of disconnection, we're all suffering spiritually. But we are all still connected. We are all still the molecules of the larger being that is this planet Earth. And our connectedness and our healthy connectedness is what will change everything in our reality, in our beings, in our existence. The healthy connection of us, the spiritual molecules that are grander than just the individual that we are. Right there, that's it. That's it. It's the connection. We're watching life grow anew in the spring. The leaves are out. The trees have budded or past budding. The leaves are popping. Flowers, the tulips are up. The daffodils are done. We got the next wave is coming, and the color is coming out. That's what we are working towards is to create that connection where pollen is flowing and everything is connected on the molecular level. This that I'm doing here is in connecting with you electronically is part of that process, is part of the change that we are needing in the world. And guess what? If we're needing it and it's happening, then we are the change. You are the change. And I thank you for going on this journey with me. And I thank you for the energy that you bring to this. And guess what? I thank you for how you bring it. How you bring it. Get it? I thank you for how you bring it. Period. Because that's the divine, real, authentic you. Alrighty. I've kept you, and this is the short one. All right, Joan, thank you for being here. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you for just taking a little bit of time with me today. And if you do find yourself in that happy depression, look for, so as Mr. Rogers says, instead of looking at the tragedies that are happening around us, stop and look around the fringe. Look around, because what you're going to see are the helpers. So when you find yourself stuck, just stop and look. Look for the helpers. You might have to reach out and call somebody. You may have to ask for it. You may have to, or something. And sometimes just by sitting there in a moment and just letting your body resonate that, the connectedness, the interconnectedness I just talked about will bring the helpers to you. It may take longer than you want, but here they come. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And not just thank you for being here, thank you for you. Because without you, what would this be? And that's a big one. Without you, what would this be? Something different. Please, we're going to get through this. How we get through it depends on how we process each moment and how we move through each moment with purpose, with passion. So please, honor the guidelines that are set forth, because there are people who are trained and skilled in these things. And just, let's stay home. Let's stay safe. Let's be well. And let's stay sane, please. Move forward with passion and purpose. And know, without a doubt, know that you are enough. Have a great day.